stream. Okay, show me on stream. All right, does that work? Can you hear me now? I swear. Every time I try something to make it easier, it just gets all screwed up. Let me see. I got to adjust my camera now. Hold on. All right, hopefully you can hear me. All right, let me go on. Let me just check myself. Oh, you can hear me now. Okay. That's fine. We're just going to go this way. So, oh my gosh. Let me get my camera adjusted so at least my head's, oh, well, that's what we're going to have to deal with. Let me see. Let me move this up just a tad. I had it angled down at the desk to make it a lot easier, but that's all right. Half my head's cut off. That's okay. You don't need to see my face anyways. Okay. I'm going to have to go back. I had it on where I said add the, anyways, maybe it mutes you when you have two people on there, but that's okay. We've got it straight. I just put myself on there and forget about the other videos. Good Lord. No sound. Yes, yes, that worked. Thank you so much, Karen. Okay. Can you believe it's already November? What is today's date? Can you believe it's already, what is it? The 19th, right? It's crazy. Thanksgiving's next week. Where does the time fly? Ugh. Well, we went out in the boat yesterday. If you saw my Facebook page, Miss Rosie did so well. She, it was just incredible. We weren't sure, so we didn't invite other people. And so, because we didn't know if we'd be out 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or, whatever. So we go out, and she was shaking for about 30 minutes. And if you saw the picture, she wore Riley's life vest, which fit her, except for it's just short. She's a lot longer than what Riley was, but it worked out. And she actually did pretty good. She sat with me for a while, but then when she sat in the captain's chair, and they give you like a cushion, an extra cushion, and which puts you up a little bit higher. She sat there. One, she was in the shade, and two, she could see everything without having to hang over the side. So it worked out. We took about 2.5 hours and drove around. We didn't go to lunch because we didn't want to stress her on adding that additional freaking out with people, outside a restaurant. So anyway, she did good. So we're happy about that. So hopefully we have a boat dog, because if we didn't, that would be, it would be tough. So anyways, hey Pam, how are you? Good afternoon. Welcome. So it all worked out. So we were extremely happy about that. I did, I did our craft fair, our holiday bazaar we had here on the 13th and 14th of November. And I did pretty good it was Thursday and Friday. Friday was slower than molasses. Thursday was extremely busy. And I had made a ton of Christmas cards and really thought people would be purchasing those. I ended up, and I made gift card holders, gift cards, little treat boxes, my reindeer, all that stuff, treat things. All of my gift card holders sold out, the little purses and the other ones that I made a different size. So I made more that night, and I made some card ones. Well, they sold out on Friday, and I thought, well, and then I brought extra stuff. I was going to make them while I was there, but it was so slow, but it's fine. So I have got a ton of holiday cards. So for all the cards that I'd made for the craft fair, I just photographed all of those to go into my Etsy store, because I have two stores. I have one that I sell my cards, and then the other one is where I sell all of my retired Stampin' Up stamps, dies, paper, ribbon, and all that stuff. So it's just crazy. Anyway, so I've got the pictures done. So now I have to go back and edit I've got to edit and resize them. So that's going to probably take all day tomorrow, but maybe not all day. Yeah, probably will. Things always take longer than I thought. So, okay. Well, I know it's the year is flying by. I was just talking to my girlfriend, my best friend who just turned 60. She was going to come and visit, and her birthday's Halloween. And I'm sure I probably told y'all, but she didn't come because her husband had gotten COVID the week before. I could have strangled him. But anyways, so we were talking on the phone yesterday. And so she just turned 60, and she goes, I just feel so old, and I'm thinking, seriously, I'm 67. Give me a break, you know? Anyways, um, so it was just one thing after another. So it just seems like things take much longer to do, or maybe it's just me. I'm not sure. But anyways, all right, let me go over a couple of specials that Stampin' Up is running for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. If you haven't already heard, on Friday, Black Friday, they're going to have a Black Friday sale, which is the first time they've done this in the 15 years that I've been with Stampin' Up. 40% off of Stampin' Blends. So if you haven't purchased your Stampin' Blends or you need to get a refill, now granted you have to purchase, you know, both light and dark come together. That would probably be a good time to do that. Also, the paper trimmer and the blades that are needed for the trimmer, those are going to be half price. So I'm definitely going to be stocking up on blades and ink bundles. So if they're, and I'm not quite sure what they mean. I know we sell the end colors in bundles, and it might be the Regals, you know, the different color schemes. So just make sure you check that out when you're looking through your online I would go through the online store, through my online store. And then select adhesives are going to be 25% off. I don't know which ones they are. They're not telling us. And then 15% off will be a select amount or type of cardstocks. So 15, 25, or 40% off. Go on there first thing. Or if you're a late night person, you can go on probably after midnight, or probably be 2 o'clock in the morning our time. So I don't know if you stay up that late, but anyways, Friday morning, get on there early to see what the last chance of my items are. I'm not last chance, I'm sorry. What the 40%, 25, and 15% off for the Black Friday sale. And make sure to check the last chance because those are always discounted as well. All right. And then on the 1st, we're having the Paper Pumpkin subscription reduction. So that has been in my email for the last 2 weeks. But look up Paper Pumpkin subscriptions and you'll see what that is. I'm sure they'll have information. It's a pretty good deal. I think you save about, I think the first, I don't know, don't hold me to this, but I want to say it's $20 off the first year, 40, and then like 60 something. So if you're interested in the Paper Pumpkin subscription, that might be something that you want to take a look at. Okay. All right. So with that being said, let me introduce myself for those that are just joining. I'm Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'm coming to you today from warm Fort Myers, Florida. I think it's 82 degrees out there. Yay! And very little wind. So I'm happy about that. And I've been doing this craziness for be 15 years in February. Can you believe that? So, all right, we're going to get started. Enough of me chatting. We are going to make a swing gift card. A swing gift card. So I'm going to flip the camera down since I can't figure out the sound on the other one. So let me turn the camera down. Give me a second. I'll have to push my buttons so that it's not backwards for you guys. I think that should be right. Yep. That should be where y'all can see it, and it should be right side up. So let me know if it's not right side up, if you don't mind. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm pretty sure it is. So this is the card. We're going to make two different, just two different color schemes. And I thought this would be quick and easy that you can make since we've got holidays. And if you run out at the last minute and need a gift card, this is a great way. And then also, just to let you all know that I do offer gift certificates. So if you're interested and you have a crafting friend that may want to, you may want to gift them a gift certificate where they can buy their own Stampin' Up supplies. Just email me. I have them in any denomination, 25, 50, 75, 100, whatever. It's whatever you want it to be. And I don't charge for that. So you're paying the cost of whatever you want that gift card for. It is downloadable. So I'll send you a download and you can print it out and then fill in the information for your person that you're going to give it to. All right. Okay. So this is the swinging gift card. And this is using that new, I call it new because I just started using it. Hang on. It is, I got to pull the paper out. It is the Elegant Pine Snowflake paper. And this is the one I've been, oh my God, I love it because of the colors. Green is my color. So it's got pretty peacock, shaded spruce, mossy meadow, I think old olive, if I'm not mistaken, and some pecan and real red, and some other colors. All right, so here's the card. And then when you open it up, this swings open, and then you can put your gift card in there. Let me see if I, oh, my gift cards, hang on, I'll use a credit card. This is an old one. So just slide it in. Now it may be a little tight on the bottom, so just push it in enough, and then, so there you go. You can have, I've got one with the dog on it. So there you go. That's what we're going to make. We're going to make, and it swings open, then you can write your message. So you've got plenty of room to still write, or you can stamp something or whatever. Okay, so that's what we're going to make. We're going to make 2 of these in 2 different color designs. Oh, and one last thing before I get started again. Since the new catalog will be coming out in January, we've had access as a demonstrator. We have access to the online version. And I will have a paper and ribbon share. There's only, I think, 5 ribbons, so it's not a lot. But I will be offering the paper and ribbon share. And I'll give you more information on that later on. But I just want to let you know that I will be offering a sampling of the new ribbons as well as the paper. Okay, so here we go. We're going to use a cherry cobbler because this is what is one of the colors in this paper here. And this is that Traditions paper that's been on back order and such. Okay, so we're going to start with a piece of cherry cobbler that's 5.5 by 8.5, and we've scored it at 4 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and get my bone folder out and give this a good crease. All right. And if you have notes, I will put the piece of paper, excuse me, that I have it. Well, yeah, I'll just write down the paper because I got this. I paid for this particular bundle of classes, and I'm not sure she probably wants me to share her actual notes. But anyways, okay. So we've got the 5.5 by 8.5 cardstock. Then you're going to need of course, you're going to need your basic white for the inside, which is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm using, since I'm using this paper, I thought we would use a piece of gold underneath. And I've cut this one a little odd because when I cut it, I had like a strange piece of gold. So I've got my gold. Now it could be, you could do it at 4 by 5.5 and then do your paper at 3 3/4 by 5. So I've done mine, and my gold is actually at 4 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then my designer paper is 3 3/4 by looks like by 5 or 4 7/8. No, I'm sorry, it's at 5 1/8. No, 4 7/8. It's at like an eighth lower, an eighth smaller. So I'm going to put that on here. So we're going to go ahead and glue that. I'm going to save the inside piece for later, and then I'll give you the other measurements as we go forward. All right, so this is the front of our card. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down once I find my glue. And I'm going to need my, this is the back side of the paper. I just opened this glue, so it's coming out pretty fast. I tried to open it and it wasn't cooperating. So I'm going to lay this down here, and it's going to have just a very small border of the gold, but I thought that looked really pretty. Kind of makes it look like it's a very fancy, expensive card, right? All right, so there's that. And then we're going to, let's see, I've got that there. Now, you're going to need a square of, now I'm using white because I want it to show up on here. So I'm doing white, and this is 2 1/4. No, wait a minute, 2 3/4 by 2 3. No, I'm sorry. Scratch that. I cut it down because I didn't like the dimensions that she provided. Pardon me. Okay, so your cardstock, whatever color you want it to be, is going to be 2.5 square. So 2.5 by 2.5. And then our designer piece of paper is going to be 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 or 2 1/4 square. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to create, and we're going to cut this in half, and we're going to cut this in half. And that's what we're going to do right here to decorate the front of the card. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the paper trimmer. And we're going to cut this, and then we'll attach the front to the card, and then we'll move forward so we can get all this done correctly. All right, so I'm going to take the 2 1/2 by 2 1/2, and I'm just going to lay it in the card trimmer, paper trimmer, at an angle. So I want to make sure I've got the top and the bottom lined up, and it looks like I'm pretty good at that. And you can always start slightly on the inside of the paper since it's got a point and you might not want to tear it. So we'll go like that. So that gives us our 2 pieces. And then we're going to do the same thing with our designer paper. So we're going to take that little square and you're going to do the same thing. Line it up in the track. And then I'm going to place my trimmer down and I'm going to go up and then come back down. Okay. So that's how you do your squares. All right, and that's all we have to do at the moment. So let me move this out of the way. All right, so let's go ahead, before we do this, let's go ahead and add, we're going to add this to the front of the card base. So I'm going to go ahead, we're just going to lay it down with our seal. I'm sorry, our liquid glue, which is the Tombow. Okay, so we're going to lay that on the front of our cherry cobbler. And I'm going to lay it just about like that. All right. Okay, we'll get that in there. All right, now we're going to add these pieces to our card base. Now, I'm not going to use this side because it's going to be kind of too much clutter, right? So I'm going to flip it over and we're going to make it have the green cardstock, and then we'll glue these down. And let me show you how you can do this. So this is, I mean, really, it is an easy card to make. It doesn't take that much time to do this, and you'll have a very fancy card that people will go, oh my goodness, how did you make that card? Right? So we're gonna pop that down right here on this piece of white. Now, if you want your cardstock to not as much to show, you can trim it down, but that leaves us 1/8 of an inch basically, right around the 4 sides, or actually 3 sides since it's a triangle, right? All right, so we're gonna place that here. Now, this card, I'm going to show you 2 ways that you can do where you can place these. As you can see here, I placed mine in the corners, which I kind of like. Or if you want, you can place them down here, which we may do the next card, and you can just kind of overlap them if you want it to be something to look a little different. All right, so you can do it like that, or you can do it up here. I kind of like, you know what? I just realized, oh yeah, I've got it. I kind of like it up in the corners. I think I'm going to do this one in the corners. I think we'll do the next one down at the bottom. All right, so I'm going to line this up and I'm going to bring it right to the edge. Now you could bring it over and cover the gold piece if you want, if you'd like to do it that way. Or we can leave the gold and you can do it this way. So I think I'm going to cover the gold up and just do it with the white showing on the side. So I think that's how I'm going to do it. So let's go ahead and do it that way. So let's go ahead. We're going to add our adhesive, and then we're going to place this one right in the corner here. So I'm going to a gold border on that side, no big deal. Hard. That's how that looks, okay? So we'll just glue this one here. Hard. And it just changes. All right, now we're going to open up our card, and before we put this down, we want to work on our flippy thing. a card, for it. Hang on. Hey, you're going to score it. So this is going to get adhered down. We also need to cut okay, so we'll glue that on there. And then since this is going to flip, then we want to have another piece on the other side. And you can do 2x4. I did this one a little shorter. Don't ask me why, I just did. This is 3 3/4 by 1 3/4. So I made this one just a little bit smaller, no big deal. Now, I have to determine if I want, see how this is cut and the flower is this way. So I'm going to leave it like that because I like how that looks. So I'm going to glue this on here. I may have to trim a little bit off because it might be a little bit down, and I want my flower to be at the bottom. And this measurement, what did I tell you, was 3. Our score line, so it's going to butt right up to that score line, and then we're going to cover up the entire front of the piece of cardstock so you don't see it. Okay, so that's going to go there. It might hang over just a little bit, and if it does, which it is, we'll just trim that off. It's no big deal. Let's make sure it dries, and then I'll just take my paper snips and I'll just trim real light right against that piece of designer paper and just trim that off so that you don't see. You don't have to, because I don't think anybody's going to even pay attention to it, to be honest with you, but you know, that's how we are. So all right, and then so again, this is going to go like that. So we're going to flip this way, and then we're going to add this piece on this side. Now you can add, and I'm going to put the back side of the paper so it's not the same. All right, so I'm going to add this little piece right here on the back. All right, so I'm going to glue this part down. So we're going to put the pretty part down and just have that checkered piece on the back. All right, so we're going to lay this here, and we're just going to give it a little bit of a border all around the 4 sides. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so there's that. All right, now we're going to lay this down inside our card. Now you can decide where you want it. Do you want it in the center? Do you want it down here? Do you want it up there? You can put it wherever you want. I'm going to put mine in the center. So I'm going to add my liquid glue. Now you can use seal, because once you get it on there, let's do the seal. Because once we get it on there, we want to make sure it's going to hold, right? So, and it should, because we're going to put that the white piece on top. Let's go ahead and do it this way. All right, because this part's going to flop. This part, as soon as I get the glue off of it. Okay, so we're going to lay that right there. Now you don't want to have it right up against the score line. You want to leave, a little, like 1/8 of an inch, so that it's going to actually fold. Okay, so you've got room to do that. So I'm going to lay mine right there and press down. And you still have room on this side. Hopefully that's straight. Let me see. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, and then that's how it's going to flip, right? Let me get my glue. That's a piece of paper. There we go. All right, so that's how that works. Now we're going to come in with our piece of white cardstock, and we're going to add this to the inside of the card. Now, what we can do, if you want to stamp something on here, go ahead and do that now before you attach it. I'm going to leave it blank because you know me. I want to write a message to whoever it is. So let's go ahead and put this white piece in here now. All right. So we'll go ahead and add that. And again, this is your 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to cover up that flap of the gift card swing. And we're going to just push this down for just a good minute. And we've got that. And then there is, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I did this again. I did this on the other time. Oh my gosh, goodness. I forgot to cut half a circle in the cardstock before then your designer paper. So take a small circle punch. So, and this is fine. As you can see, when I did it on this one, I only cut the paper before I added that. And this is not going to work because I glued the whole daggone thing down. So I just messed this up. So guess what we're going to do? We are going to cut another piece of designer paper. I wasn't thinking, you all. Here we go again. Hang on. Let me get a piece of paper. We're going to fix this real quick. So we're just going to have a fancy side. I completely forgot I had to cut that. And you all are just watching me, just going along, doing my thing. All right, we'll cut another piece. All right, so I'm going to cut a piece that's 4 by 2 inches. I am so sorry I did this, but hopefully this will be fine. Hopefully it's not going to look goofy. All right, so this is 4. So I'm just going to cut 2 inches off. Let's just do it this way. 2 inches. Oh, I'm such a goofball. I'm sitting there running my mouth, putting glue on everything, not paying attention. Okay. But that's all right. It'll work. This one, they'll just have designer paper on both sides. Okay. So we've got our 4 by 4, right? So we're just going to have that in the background. So we're going to take, I'm such a dork. All right. So take your circle punch. This is 1.5 inches. Oh my gosh. And just, if you want to measure it, then measure. That's fine. I'm just eyeballing where I think the center is. And I'm just going to pop out a little piece like that. Okay. Now we have our gift card holder. All right. So I think I'm going to leave it like that because, once you put that card in there, I don't think they're really going to notice. But if you don't, you can always cover that up with a piece of cardstock. But I think once it goes in here, it's going to be fine. Okay. So my fault. All right. Back to what we're supposed to be doing. We're going to use some tear and tape to add our gift card holder. So you want to keep it as close to the edge. So don't do what I do. See, I make mistakes on purpose for you guys. So don't, you want to put it as close to the edge as you can. I don't go all the way to the top. I go down slightly, like maybe 3/4 of a way. And then I put that there. I don't know who is texting me. So we're going to tear that off, or you can cut it, whichever is easier for you. And then we're going to put this on here as well. And I'm not measuring. I'm just guesstimating. I'm just putting it on here right to the edge because I want to make sure that I've got it covered. Let me cut this piece off because I did go a little bit farther. So let me cut that off before we move any further. Okay, so we got that. And let's see. Then we're going to add a piece in the center. So y'all get to see my boo-boos. And I'm not going to run it. You can run it all the way around at the bottom. I don't think we need to do that. So I'm just going to do it like that and then just tear it off. You can run it all the way. It doesn't matter. It's your choice. Okay. So this is the right way that you should be doing the gift card holder. All right. So we've got that on there. Now we're going to peel it off with our scissors. I think I need to clean my scissors. Oh my gosh. Pretty grody. All right. So it's good. It's good that I make mistakes, see, because that way y'all know not to do what I do, okay? All right, so we're going to lift that glue up. Now we're going to place this down. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, so we're going to place this down here, and we're just going to cover up the other piece. All right, so there's our thing. Now we can slide this in there and see how that works. Ta-da! All right, so that's why you want to do that before you add it. All right, now the next thing we're going to do, and again, stamp before you apply your white piece of cardstock. All right, Now we're going to take a scrap of white and we're going to stamp a sentiment that we are going to cut out. I need a bigger piece. Hang on a second. Let me grab it. Whoopsie. I got all these little pieces in my little stash up here and I need a bigger piece. We're going to stamp our sentiment. We're pop it. We're going to cut it out with the circle, with the same circle punch. So I am going to stamp, and this is from the Jolly Delivery. It says, hoping this Christmas is the most magical yet. So that's what we're going to stamp. And I'm going to stamp it in, I think I'm going to do cherry cobbler since that's our card base. So let me grab that. I apologize for sticking my face and body in the camera. Sorry about that. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to stamp that on here. Whoopsie, got a little bit much there. And I'm going to stamp it right here. And then we're going to cut that out. Looks like it's got little dots on it, so it can be perceived as like little snow pieces. Let me wipe this off because we're going to do a second card, but we're going to do it in a different color. You know how the reds are. I always spray it with my mist, my Stampin' Mist, because that will normally take the red off. So I'm going to come in with my 1.5 inch circle punch, and we're going to punch this out. And I'm going to leave some room so that I can put some decorations at the bottom. Now you can pop this up on dimensionals if you want. I laid it down here flat. So I'm going to place it right here. I'm going to bring it over just a little bit. I'll line it up with the paper. So I'm going to put it right about here, and then I'll add some of the decorative, what are these things called? The traditional sparkling. I love these things. They got some good color. So let's go ahead and glue this down. And then the next one, we'll pop it up on a dimensional just to have our card a little bit different than this one. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. I don't think we need a lot. And we'll glue this down. All right, so we're going to put that right there. And then while that's drying, then we're going to add our colors. Now, I think on this one, because it's got that blue in here, see that pretty blue and the gold, I think I'm going to do, should I do 2 blue or 2 gold? Oh my gosh, so I could do 2 gold and a blue. I think I'm going to do 2 blue because there's a lot of gold in there. So let's take, now you've got 3 sizes, and I didn't realize this. You've got large, medium, and small, just to let you know. I'm just going to use the small ones. So I'm going to pull in these light blue colored. So I'm going to place one right there. And then I'm going to take my gold one, since we have all that gold, and I'll place the gold one right there. And then I'll take another small blue one. And I think that will help pull that blue out. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that pretty? So you can see how easy this is, and don't do what I did. And we're going to make another card. All right. So here we go. Here's our card. Isn't that beautiful? And then we're, you know what, I just realized, I think that's, no, that should be cherry cobbler. Mine's really dark for some reason. All right, so there it goes. Isn't that gorgeous? Let me get it down here. And then open it up. It flops over, and you got another piece. And I'm going to trim, let's trim this off because I didn't do it when we added that new piece. So I'll just trim that so you don't see it and get that cut off. And then our gift card holder, and we'll do it the right way on the next one. Okay, so there's our gift card holder, and it flings open, and then you write your message right there. So what do you think about that? Isn't that cool? I thought it's a great way, a quick and easy way that you can make a card, make a gift card holder. Okay, so let's make one more. We're going to do this here, that color scheme, which I love. So let's do that one, and then we're going to put the triangles in a different spot. So let's do it that way. Now this one, we're going to use Pretty Peacock, which is, again, the base is 4.5 by 5.5. So we've got that scored, and we want to give it a good crease. Okay. And then we have our piece of, I'm using pecan pie because I thought it would be good to bring out that color of the pine cones. So this is 4 by 5.25. So we're going to go ahead and lay this down. I'm going to do I like to add my paper first. And then this piece is going to be 3 3/4 by 5. Okay. and that's the back side. And I didn't care for the back side for our flip of our swing cards. I'll show you what I did. All right, so we're going to go ahead and glue this down to our pecan pie. I just like to glue my pieces down on top, the layers down on top of each other before I adhere it to the final piece. Just the way I do things. All right, so we've got that on there. Isn't that pretty? Don't you just love these colors? I just love this color. Oh, I'm going to hate if that thing ever leaves. I'm going to hate it. So, all right. And then we are going to cut our squares again. So let's bring in the paper trimmer. And we're going to cut our, now this one, I did the same thing. I did another piece of white and I did a square of the same color. And that's what we're going to, and that's the back side, but it's the one that's got the dark green, but I really like this one. All right. So this one, again, I did, hang on a second. I want to say it's 2.5. Yep. 2.5 square. So 2.5 by 2.5. And then this piece is 2.25 by 2.25. Okay. So we're going to lay that in the trimmer at an angle into your trimmer, line up the points. Put your blade right on the inside of where the point is because we don't want to crunch up our paper. So we can start here and go up and then come back down. So we have our 2 triangles there. And then we're going to do the same with this one. We've got a paper in here at an angle. I'm going to come in right off the paper. Whoops, make sure I don't move my paper. Hold on. You got to make sure you don't move it, right? So we want to get our paper on there. I'm holding it down and we'll come out and then go back. All right, so now we have our 2 pieces of our triangles. If I can get them up. All right, and we'll move this out of the way. All right, so we're going to go ahead and let's adhere this to the front of the card. And then we'll put our triangles together and then we'll build our swing piece in just a minute. This time I'll remember to cut it. All right, so this one we're going to place here. And I love the way that pecan brings out those pine cones. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to glue these down on our triangles. So we got one here and then we have one here. So let's glue these down. What do y'all think? Do you like this card? Isn't this cute? It's a great way, especially if you're at the last minute and you need a quick card, right? You make a quick gift card holder. All right, so we're going to lay that down there and just get him in the triangle. And then we'll do the same thing on this one. Oh, I can't put my glue over here where I can reach it. I really like this color too. It's got the secret C. But it seems like it's dark, so it really needs to be on a really light background. We could have used that for that part for the front of the card, but I thought, nah, we'll just go this way. Oops. All right, so we're going to lay this here. All right, so we got those down. All right, so since we did it this way on the corners, okay, we're gonna change it up. We're gonna do it at the bottom. So this is just another way that you can place your corners in here. Let me get them lifted up. So what we'll do now, this time I'm going to glue it and let the brown show through the pecan pie. So I'm going to line it up with my designer paper and I'm going to lay it here. And then this one, I'm going to come back and do the same thing and line it up. They're going to crisscross each other. That's going to be the difference. And then we'll put our sentiment probably at the bottom, or we could put it somewhere else on the top. But that just gives you something different. So let's do it this way. I really do like it on the side, but you know, let's just do it a little different and see how that goes. All right, so we're going to glue this one down here. So I'm just going to lay it right over the designer paper so we still see the pecan pie. All right, and then we'll do the same thing with this piece. Just a little bit of glue. I don't need a lot. And I'm having trouble with my computer charging. I think for Black Friday, I'm going to have to buy me a new computer because it won't keep the charge. All right. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cross these over. I'm going to line it up right on the edge of the designer paper. So our pecan pie is showing. And there is the front of that card. So isn't that cute? And then we'll probably put our sentiment here just because we can, right? All right, so let's go back and let's see if we can make sure we do our inside piece the right way. All right, so we have a piece of pecan pie, which coordinates 6 by 2 inches, and we scored it at 2 inches, okay? And then we've got this piece here. Now I can leave it like that, or I can flip it over and put that on the inside if we want. And then this piece we could put, I think what I'm going to do is put this piece here. And then, I don't know, now I'm deciding because I like that one too. Let me think, give me a second. Well, we already have this on the front, so we really don't want to, we could bring that into the inside. That would be pretty. These are both cut. Actually, I cut both of these at 2 by 4. Okay. We could do this here. So it's kind of brighter, and then put this one on the back. I think I'll do that. Let's do it that way. All right. So before we do that, we've got to cut our circle. So this again is 2 inches by 4, and let's cut that. Nope, let's do it this way. I scored this piece as a scrap, but I thought, well, it's still going to work. All right. So again, I'm using the 1.5 inch circle punch, and I'm just cutting just enough that you can get your thumb out of the, so you pull your gift card out. Okay. All right. So now we need our tear and tape again. But I love this paper. Isn't that pretty? It's a good paper. So if you haven't bought this paper, you still have time for holidays to get your cards made and get them out in the mail. So this is, let me go ahead and, we're just going to add a strip of tear and tape, and I'm going to tear it off there. And of course it sticks to you. And then we'll come down and we're going to put a little piece. Again, as I mentioned before, I don't go all the way to the top. I just put it about 3/4 of a way, and I make sure I get right to the edge of the paper. I try to get right to the edge. All right. And then we're going to put a piece on the bottom. And again, I don't go the whole way because I don't think I need to. And I'm just going to place this right on the edge here and tear that off. That way it holds it in and it doesn't let the gift card fall through. Okay. All right. And then we're going to tear off our strip of tear tape. So let's pull that off, and you can use your pokey tool. I always forget to use my pokey tool. It's sitting in my little toolbox thing I have over here. I'm not sure why I do. I don't. I just find my scissors do everything. You know, my paper snips do it all, but it's okay. I should probably start using that more. All right. So there's that. You see, I've got goo all over. I need to clean my scissors. I clean everything else, and then I always forget about my paper snips. All right, so we're going to get this lifted up. Give me just a second. There we go. There we go. We'll pull that off. All right, and then we're going to place this down on our piece right here. And then we'll put this on. Put that all the way down at the bottom. We've got it right up to that score line, just on the right side of it, because we want to make sure that it's going to close. And then I've got a little bit head hanging over, so I'm just going to trim that off real quick, just to make sure that it's not getting in the way. All right, we got that off. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this to the back as well before we glue it down. All right, so that's going to go just like that. I think that's pretty because when it opens, I think that's pretty. Let's go ahead and add this one. We'll add this one, cover up this. Woo, that's a lot of glue. We'll cover up this side, which this is real. I just love this paper. I love Pretty Peacock. All right, I probably got a little bit too much glue there. Actually, I'm going to put some right there on my card base. That way I know I can put it All right, so we're going to glue this down right here. We'll put it right up to that score line. And again, this is 6 by 2. And we scored it at 2 inches. And I got a little bit hanging over, which is no big deal, but we'll just trim it off. You can barely see it, but I can see it. So I'm going to just trim that off again. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's good. So now we're ready for putting our gift card in here. So it does fit. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come over here with our cardstock, and I'm going to add my seal again. Now you can use your liquid Tombow. I'm going to go ahead and do the seal because I think that's going to hold it better, especially if it's going to be flapping back and forth, right? All right, so I've got my seal. And again, I'm going to place it right in the center of the card, right to the right of my fold, because I want to make sure my card's going to be able to fold. Just move it over just a little bit more. Okay. All right. And we'll just give it a good burnish with that. And now we'll put our inside piece on. And again, if you want to stamp something, stamp it before you lay it down. This is going to cover up the swing part, or the actual part that holds it in place. And we'll just put that down here. It's 4 by 5 1/4. All right, let's make sure we get that straight. And again, a great way to have a nice gift to give someone. All right, so there's that. And again, you see it open, it flips open. Of course, we have our gift card holder in there, our gift card. It's going to actually weigh that down so it doesn't fling up like that. So let's put that in there. All right, so that holds it down. And then they flip it over and write your message. Okay, so let's do our sentiment. We're going to do the same one, but we're going to change it up and do it in Pretty Peacock, which is my favorite. So let's do that. And I think this time I'm going to pop it up on a little dimensional. Let's do that just for something different. And then we'll add our little embellishments. And hopefully I got room for my circle. We'll see. If not, we'll just stamp it again. I think I might. All right, we got to close up the ink because you know how that goes. I'll probably be wearing it, so I got to be careful. Okay, this is going to be, let's see if it's going to work. See if we got room. Woohoo, we do. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit again because I'm going to put some of those cute little sparkly gems on it. All right, and again, this is the 1.5 inch circle, and this is from the Jolly Delivery paper or stamp set. Paper stamp set, I should say. All right, and then let's go ahead. Let's add a dimensional. We'll put our little dots on there. And give me just a second here. Let me find my glue dots. I probably only need one. Do we need one? Let's put 2. Let's just put two just to be on the safe side. How's that? Because it's big enough. Now, I think I have these. Let me see if these are still active. I think these are retired. Hang on a minute. Let me look and see. Neutral. I don't know if these are retired or not, but they've got, no. Anyways, we'll go with these. All right. So I think this one would probably, it's got a little bit of red in it. So why don't we do a red in the center? Let's do a red in the center. And then we could do, well, we don't want to do the green. Well, it would kind of go like that, but we're putting this down here. So let's just go with, what do you think about the blue again? Should we do blue or should we do gold? What do you think? Oh, I think that would be pretty because it kind of looks like, yeah, let's do that. We're going to do this one. Let's put a little blue on each end of the red. There we go. There we go. And again, these are the traditional sparkling gems. You can get those in my online store. And we'll pack up, pull off our dimensional backing. And let's just, and you can put some ribbon underneath it if you want. It's up to you. It's your call. So I'm going to put that there. And I swear, do y'all get spam? I get spams. I probably get 7 a day. And we're going to put that right there. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so there are our gift card holders, our swing. All right, so there's that one. Isn't that gorgeous? And again, it's just a different way it changes the look based on the paper, right? And then this one, and we're going to swing that one open. And then that goes up where you can write your message here. And then this is the same we did on this one. I did this same paper, but I put it in the corner. And then on the back side, I did that. So those are our cards. I hope you all enjoyed this. Such a great, easy way that you can make your gift card holders a little bit different. So again, if you get to the last minute, you can take about 15 minutes and make a card pretty quickly and knock this out, or make them in advance and have them, and then you always have them. So there you go. Thank you, everybody, for taking time out of your Friday afternoon to join me on Fundamental Friday. I greatly appreciate it. And don't forget, next Friday starts the Black Friday with Stampin' Up. And then December 1st, which is Monday, is our, oh, now I forgot what it's called. Monday. Da, 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 da. I'm losing my mind. Anyways, it's this Paper Pumpkin subscription. So, all right. Thank you again for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. And Cyber Monday. I knew it would come to me. Cyber Monday. All right. Thank you again. I will be back and see you. Have a great weekend. I'll be back Tuesday evening at our regular 7 p.m. time, Eastern Standard Time. And I'm not sure what we're going to do, but we'll do something fun. All right, everybody. Thanks again. Have a great weekend. And I will see you soon. Bye now.